let's have a play around with this. Let's turn the power back on again. It's not completely back together. It's kind of back together, but not completely. So let's look at what I want resistance, and we'll see what we get. So I've got my Pomona lead here, which I just arrived today. So I've not got the guide hooked up, but it probably doesn't matter. So what resistance should we be getting? 0 ohms. Yeah, 0.54. Not quite 0, is it? Let's turn some of these lights off so we can get some better visuals on it. Here we go. It's not, it hops very slightly. So if I chuck on 10k, that's there. It needs calibrating, but 300, yeah, it's auto ranged, okay. I'm just trying to determine which range was playing up. I don't remember which range it was. That was looking alright. 100k, looks alright. 200, looking alright. Slightly out, but it's basically there. Right. So go back to ohms, shall we? Yeah, it's measuring ohms. You can't really see it, but the indicator there for ohms is on. So it's 0.52 ohms is measuring. Five ohms. So the ohm scale looks about right. Let's do tens of ohms. It's looking close. 80, 90. Yeah, it's looking close. It's again out of calibration, I think. Okay, hundreds of ohms. I think it's auto scale when I get to like 300, I think. Yeah, it will. So saying 300 there. Yeah, this one I think is looking dodgy. 500. 600 now. Yeah, this one's looking off. Okay, so this is like the 0.2k, is it? Yeah, so kilo ohms range. Yeah, so it's the first kilo ohms range is suspicious. That's definitely a long way out on the first kilo ohms range. Right, let's make a note of that. Okay, let's keep going. It's going to tens of kilo ohms. So I'm doing 20. Oh, sorry, 2 right now. So that's definitely out by quite a bit there. Do 4, that's correct. 5 is correct. Okay, so it's that first kilo ohm range is wrong. The second kilo ohms range looks okay. Go down to 1. Yep, it's definitely off there. That's using the first range still. If I go up and back down again, and it's using the second range, and that's correct. So yep, right. So the second kilo ohms range is alright. I think the third kilo ohms range was alright, wasn't it? So it's doing 10 there, 20 there, 30 there, back down. Should still be in the top range, yes it is. So that range is looking okay as well. Right. Should I do mega ohms? Try and get the mega ohms range. One that's right up, let it kick over. Yeah, showing mega ohms there. It's out a bit, but it's showing it. Because I'm doing 999 kilo ohms. Might have to use a different tester for that range. That's okay. So it looks like it might just be that first kilo ohms range which is the problem. So I'll just play around with voltages just now, inject the voltage into it, and I had trouble getting a reading off it. I moved the switch around a little bit and it eventually came right. And I'm back on resistance again now, doing the same test. I'm back on 10k, or 11k I'm doing right now. And it's a little bit, if I'm just touching it a little bit, it's very touchy. So I think part of the problem with this is that the switch needs a good clean. So if I go back down to 1k, which is where it's glitching a lot, it's definitely not there. You know, if I touch this, it's changing. It could be the relay cutting in and out, which is causing it to change value every time each time the relay closes. But I'm suspecting that switch right now. I think I should go for that first. Can I turn this off? No. No. Can't turn it off. Weird. Okay. So let's try and get to the back of that switch and give that a clean. I might take the front panel off actually. We'll see how we go. Okay, so there's the inside again. I've got to open up again. Now there's a little daughter board just there, which is the switch is mounted onto, which you can probably see if I can tip it down a little bit. There you go. You can see the pins going up to it. And you can see the white shaft just up there, which is in shadow right there. So if I over here, I don't think maybe you can see it turning. Alright. But it's like the top section there is probably the detent, and the bottom section is the actual switch. So I should be able to get some in there, be able to get in there and give it a bit of a spray with some deoxit and give it a clean up. Now it does have these push-in pins as well, which pass through to the board. So I think maybe those will need a bit of a shove around as well, just a bit of a push up and down to try and make sure they're okay. Just to ensure there's good contact as well. There might be something which will help too. So I'll give that a spray first and move things around and see what happens. I'll give it a spray. Just going to turn the switch around for a little bit now. Try and give it a clean. I've got to move Deoxit Fader F5 because it's meant for controls and it's got some lubricant in it as well. So it cleans and lubricates. So because it's a switch, I want the lubricating action in there. So I've gone for that rather than anything else, rather than just based on corrosion. So I'll see if this helps it. Might get lucky. Right, let's try this again now. Give it a clean. So let's spend 1K, and it's still very touchy. It's always changing. Yeah, I think it's the relays. If I turn it anti-clockwise, it's more forgiving than if I go clockwise, I think. I don't know actually, maybe I'm wrong. That's the way I'm turning it. It does seem more forgiving going anti-clockwise than clockwise. But yeah, it's definitely still wrong there. So that's like 300 ohms out. So if I go to a different range which shares the same relays, so I want next range up which shares a relay with that one is the 200 kilo ohm range. So if I go 100k, so it should be doing 101k, and that's what I'm getting, which is interesting. I'm getting that slight error there, but I'm getting that same kind of error amount, like in 54, even on 0 ohms. You know, I'm getting something down there anyway. I mean, because I think there's an error there as well. I think I can't really tell if it's out by 300 ohms or not because it's reading the error there. Hard to judge. So 2k is definitely way up there. Go 3k, which goes to the next range. Is that right? Or was it 20k range? I thought it was 2k range. Oh, 2k, wasn't it? That's changed ranges there. It's saying 5, yeah. So it's definitely something going on there. 2k, bang on. Down range. Yeah. That one range has definitely got a problem. So without changing the switch, it's not affecting it. I think it must be the relay. Has to be. Because if it was a switch, you expect it to maybe be the same regardless. Because it's auto ranging on here. I'll do manual ranging. Auto range into that run. Do 2K. So manual ranging. Down the range. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's relay. Because you hear the relays clicking and it's not the same every time, it's always changing. I'm pretty sure it's not the switch itself now, even though it was a bit touchy. I might do the same with on voltage again. Check that again. So the company set 17.5 volts. That is so touchy. Even with the cleaning going on. Do manual range. But it's not trying to auto range at the same time. Still don't completely trust the switch. Pushing and pulling doesn't seem to do it. It definitely seems to be a turning thing. So it will be the switch contacts. I might have to strip it down and give it a clean. The oxide doesn't seem to have done it. Okay, so tracking this down. The def board here is the board we're interested in. And you can just see this little white card just here. That is a resistor. That's like a multi-way resistor. It's got multiple resistors on it. That one card. It's got, I think it's 3 or 4 resistors on there built into it. So those do each resistance range. They adjust the resistance values which are used for each range as a reference for the current source. And just below, which you can't really see because they're black. Unfortunately the lighting's not the best just here. It's a bit awkward to try and get in there. Can I get it right? There we go, you can just see it there. Maybe. Directly beneath that card there's 2 relays which are black. Yeah, I'll do it. There you go. Right. There and there. So that relay there, the one closest to the front, is K325. And this relay here is K324. Now 324 is only used in the 20 to 50 mega ohm range. And that one's used in the sub 2 kilo ohm range. So what I'm actually tempted to do is to take this board out and swap those 2 relays around. And see if the problem moves. If the problem moves, then we know. And the thing is, you know, anything above 20 mega ohms is only used for the other relay. It's not likely to get used anyway. It's not like a common thing you'd measure. So I'm tempted to just swap them over and that'll probably do it. Okay, so I'm going to take this front panel off because I've just noticed that the standoffs on the back there, on those rear boards, they go through, they line up with these screws on the front. So I think these screws in the front are actually holding the thing together as well. I think they're holding it in place. So I'm going to take this front panel off and I might actually free up the whole unit to come out of the casing. I thought I screwed into the plastic before, which is why I was a bit hesitant to remove them because it's all so fragile. But I think it's just sandwiched actually on the front panel. Let's try and get this out with something. I had this out once before when I first got it, just to have a little bit of a peek inside. So it's not the first time it's been off. There we go. That's what's behind that part. Oh no, actually no, there are push studs in there. There are push studs into the plastic. Oh. Anyway. So we've got this other switch up here. A little daughter board there, which is interesting. So I think I've got to try and figure out how to get this whole thing out. I might have to strip it out from the back. I'm really not sure. Yes. I've got some calibration stuff on this panel, on this board as well. Some adjustment points. What does that say? 1K times 100 times 10 times. Adjustments just here. Not sure what they're for. It'll be in the manual. I should really read that part. We'll get to it. Take these screws out, these standoffs here. then unscrew these standoffs here, and those posts will probably stay in place. I think that might be what I have to do. How many standoffs are there? I can't quite see. There's another one in the middle there. Are those long screws? They might just be long screws. Let's try that. Aha! Long screws. Now it makes sense. Okay, so I've taken the power supply section back off again so I can get to it a lot easier. Now I know that these are just long screws which I have to take out. Things are looking a bit more promising. And usually test gears, they consider how you're going to work on it. They sort of think about things like that. So usually they actually have some kind of idea about serviceability, and they consider getting the thing apart and working on it. Not always. Sometimes they're a real pain. This is kind of, I think it's in the middle somewhere. It's not the best as far as design. It's not like an HP where you can just take some screws out and unplug something. No, those are really well designed. Tektronix is generally pretty good, but it's usually a bit more involved. Quite a bit more involved, I think, in this case. Alright, so that's those out. I think that might be all the screws. Well, it's moving, so I'm guessing it is. So it's getting kind of caught on a 7-segment display. It's putting a 7-segment display out, so I'm trying to pull it out. We've got to be backwards instead. No. I've got to take one of the display segments out in order to get the thing out. Okay. Markings are on the bottom. Okay, just like all the other ones, that's fine. There we go. Wow, okay. So it's got this little wire flex, comes around here, comes up to the side, comes up over here, around here, it goes all under this other stuff. Oh wow, oh, a bit more plastic's falling off. Case is getting lighter and lighter every time. Oh look, there's some IPA coming out, or the diagnostic coming out, which I sprayed in there. Ran into those cable flexes. Alright. Well, does that mean there's another switch contact I didn't get to? Because that's the detent section just up there in the grey bit. I did underneath there. I'm not sure, maybe I didn't get into all the switch sections. Maybe there's another switch section I didn't get into on the bottom of that board. So I have to try and get into that, I suppose. Can't see. Yeah, there is another switch section in there, I think. Right, so this has got to come off, but it's got these wires which all go into here, which just plug in, which is okay, but this one seems to disappear up there. That is plugged in too, but we'll take that shield off. Okay, well, if I just take the shield off, I think it might be right. Let's give this a go. Here we go, that's easy enough. Alright, so yeah, but the thing is, you've got to make sure we go to the right ones. So I need to make notes of this. I was going to forget which one's which. And there's a whole bunch more read relays up here. Okay. So we have that connection there, this one here, that one there, this one here, and one down here. So that is a green, that's a yellow, That's an orange. Then we've got red and brown. Okay. So we've got brown, red, yellow, orange, green. Okay. So I did kind of think about it, having stuff plug in. That was really loose actually. That was not on there very well. That was a very loose fit. That one there. That green one. That's interesting. That's tighter. That orange one's okay. Red one, that feels okay. Brown one feels okay. So this green one was really loose. Yeah, that's just like, that feels like it's doing nothing. Wonder what that does. Let's go into a little bank of resistors up here. So you've got 3 resistors up here above a couple of diodes. So you've got 2 diodes, 3 resistors, and that pin goes to the middle resistor of that 3. So second resistor up. If anyone wants to look up what that does, just in case it matters, maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe I should look now before I'm thinking about it. While I'm thinking about it. Because that green, where's that green wire go to? Can't see it. Can I stand it on its back? Probably not. Green wire goes into the shield over here. Goes down the bottom here. Down by, well, it looks like a voltage reference. LM399H voltage reference. That's where it goes to. That's interesting. Goes right down there. So probably not related. It's probably something else. Anyway, so we've got the read relays down here, which is what I'm interested in. And of course there's a metal shield around it, which I'm going to have to take off. Just looking at solder joints in case I don't have to. And there's the special resistor, which has got 3 resistive elements in it. Let's get closer so you can see that. Okay, so there's a resistor which has got 3 resistors built into it in one block, which is why it's A, B, C. It might be 4 resistors, was it? I can't remember. Maybe it's 4. It's got a common there. It might be 4 resistors actually. So it might be the box. So that's one special thing. You definitely don't damage that. If you crack that, no good. Right? It's a precision resistor. And these are the 2 read relays. Now one is this one here, the one we're interested in, is actually slightly wonky. Though we can see it on camera, but it's actually not straight. But the soldering looks okay. In fact, the one down here, the soldering doesn't look as good. That one there, this leg's not soldered properly just here. You can see it there. There's a bit of a gap around the leg. On this one here, that top corner. Anyway, so I'm going to swap those 2 read relays around. I'll swap them out. We'll see if that does anything. And I'll try and clean that switch again some more from this side. Maybe I can get it apart. Maybe I can. I'm really tempted to try and get it apart. Well, let's get the shield off here. We'll just take those relays off. I could take the board off the main unit now I've unplugged it, I'm not actually sure I need to now. If I can get to it. So I pulled those things off for nothing, really, didn't I? Mind you, I found this one was a bit loose, so I need to look at tightening that one up. Okay, so shield off. Yeah, it's got some point-to-point wiring on here. Interesting. Because that's for isolation. You know, there's K324 there and K325 here, marked on the board. So we'll just take those out, swap them around. Andreas. I should have said that before I did it, shouldn't I? Yeah. Oops. See, now it's actually flattened the board. It's just moved. Not sure I got the solid legs. Yes, I did. Right. That's that one out. That's the next one. We'll put that straight into place. And if this doesn't work, we know it's something else. So these read relays, this is what it is. It says USA. 1977. Yep, 1977. Electrol R4050-1 148-0076-00. 1977. But they've got offset legs, they're not actually parallel legs, so you can only put them one way around, that sort of stuff too. Which is a good thing, you can't get that mixed up. So I'm going to put this back into the position for the other one, so I'll basically swap them over. And we'll see how that goes. Should have put this one back in again before I put the other unit back in, because they're kind of in the way of each other. Probably be right. No, take this one back out, I'm going to slide it down. Okay. Got some wires in the way. Okay, that's that one. And this one looks slightly better to read actually. I'll show you this one. Yeah, slightly easier to read. Okay, let's put this one in. Then we'll put it back together again. I'll tighten up that connector which we found was loose as well. I don't think it's related, but you never quite know. Obviously it wasn't right. Let's put this away, finish with that now. I use my silver solder again. That thing fell out as I was moving it. Come on, get back in. There we go. Trying to bed them both down properly like they're supposed to be. What was interesting, this one wasn't actually embedded, and that flattened the board. Makes it one of the times I've been looking at this before and then put it back in properly. Stephen? Steve? Was that you? I'm going to call you Stephen, because I know Stephen. Right. Get that clean. Wish I could lay this thing down flat actually, it'd be easier. But I can't. Where's the brush gone? Put it back. Okay, let's put it back together. Let's look at what I can do to make this one tighter. Why is this one so loose? So I want to stick a pair of tweezers into it to tighten it up a little bit. So this one. Hopefully that stab himself. That's always a risk. Let's have a close look at this as soon as it's falling apart anyway. So that is the actual connector, and for some reason that is really loose on that pen. But now it feels alright. Maybe I did squash it down a bit when I pushed it with that tweezer. Now it's really tight, I can't get it back off again. Come on. Oh, come on. Now it's gone too much. This is what I needed before. Oh, look, it's locking on now. Damn it. It's not a problem now. Okay, so I popped that board out here. I've basically wiggled both the end boards off. Taken off this board here, which is pushed onto these pins for the switch. So try and get to the switch assembly, because this does need cleaning. So I need to try and figure out how to get this apart. So hopefully this without breaking any wires really. Unfortunately I've got one wire attached now on this thing. Yeah, it's now stuck. Anyway, let's look at getting this apart. And see what we find. How long are these screws? Moderately long. Be careful not to bend these pins, because that'd be a problem trying to get back in again. Get it realigned afterwards. But you can see it's all gold plate. Expect that less than Tektronix really. So let's have a look in here. There's one locating colour, and this is a switch segment which feels like it doesn't want to come off. Be careful with this, I don't want to break it obviously. Again, just give it a little wiggle. Yeah, it's sliding, but slowly sliding. Very tight though. You can't see what I'm doing in the camera, can you? Right. There we go. Right. And there's the switches. Gold plate switches. Gold plated PCB. So having issues with contacts on these, I'm surprised. You wouldn't expect to see any contact issues on those. So, not sure. A little bit weird. Maybe I just need to bring these pins up a little bit higher, try and bend them up a little bit. Maybe this is a bit more tension. It's probably all it could be. Give that a tweak. This thing here I'm looking at. Looking okay. I mean, there's no signs of issues on that one. So we've got a 4 leg there, and it has a locating piece. I can't get them in backwards. They can only go one way. Excellent, because I can't screw that up. And there's the PCB again, double-sided, and all gold. So my cleaner definitely got in there, still sitting in there. So it's not like that was an issue. So we've got this section here. So how many more switch sections we've got? I think we've got a couple. So we've got this one here. Alright, again, I mean, they're likely got enough tension on those pins that are sticking up above the surface. Right, so they're above the edge, so they should actually be touching the board just fine. Sometimes you pull things like that apart and you see that they're all basically flattened down, only barely touching, there's no tension. But I don't think that's the case this time. So this looks right, really. Maybe I should I can see some little, I don't know, I can see some differences there. Maybe it is slightly tarnished. I mean, gold does tarnish too, just nowhere near as much as other materials do. You can still get tarnishing. How's this come apart? Has this got these, I've got to turn off, is it? Got these plastic standoffs here. What size are they? Not that size. Let me see if I've got something to fit those. I think they probably screw in so I can get that other board out. I think there'll be some more contacts under there. Right, so I thought I'd try from the other side, and these screws on the front edge, they go through into those plastic studs. That's what holds them together. So that's how that goes together. Now this actually has a soldered on tab across here. Might have to desolder that in order to get that board out. Just got this other connection just here, which I'll take off. Right. I might be able to fold it up, we'll see, but I don't think so. Pop the screws out as well. Mustn't forget which order they go in. Cast that off there. So that's obviously the detent assembly. And there's a little activator in here with a spring on the outside which holds it all together, which holds it in place so it works on the detent. So it's got a lot of planing now. Board is loose. Let's desolder this little loop that's on here. Yeah, it's like a guard connector, I think. I'm not sure. It's got a Teflon standoff on the board there. I just want to get this out. Let's look at the other side first, since that's where I started. So we get that board off from there. Yeah, it's got some connections on it as well. So that's got some pins on there somewhere. Yes, it's got some standoff pins. Right. So we'll try and pull this out without bending those pins. There's also a wire as well, which I can't see where it goes. Let's take this shield off here as well. Well, this is a pain to get apart. You're right, Steve. This is a pain to get apart. I've got to get the screws back in the right places afterwards. Unplug that. Now I'll pull this off. There we go. Alright, so I clearly got in there too. But it could even be these pins which are causing problems too. Never quite know. And there's a double switch section here which I need to pull off. So let's slide this off the shaft here. Try to do one at a time. Must not get these mixed up. I really hope I don't get these mixed up. I should probably put these in order on the bench, shouldn't I? So I don't do that. That was the top one. That was the next one, I think. Oh, I've already messed this up. Have I? It's in the manual anyway. I think that was the second one. I'm pretty sure it's the second one. Or was it the first one? Was that the top one? That's the... yeah, I probably cooked up. Anyway, figured it out. It's in the manual. Slide that section off. Interesting, it's got like a... it's got a Kapton tape in there. With the tunnels poking through. Interesting way of doing it. A little bit weird. Maybe the tape's shifting. It's got like locators on it, so it won't go anywhere. It's like a Teflon sheet or a Kapton sheet. Should be right. It's probably for tracking, anti-tracking or something. Next one. It's got the same deal. It's got the Kapton sheet there. Channel sticking through. So that just leaves me the other side now. Now I can just pull this out maybe. I don't know. So there's a switch there as well. Yes, this has all got switches on it too. So, okay, so this will need cleaning as well then. Right, well let's desolder this. Oh, but I can remember where the screws go. I'm not confident. This is lots of bits. Right. Okay. And there's the last bit. There's another switch section there, which has gone to this side of the board, which also had that stuff go onto it. So many switch sections. Right. Then that one. We've got one more here. Slide out that way. Wow. They've all got these Teflon, well not Teflon, the Kapton connections there. So yeah, the contact cleaner I put on there, that deoxit did get to there and onto here as well. No, actually no, I didn't get onto that bit, so this bit needs definitely cleaning. I'm not sure if this is... it's got some kind of other residue in here, around here. I don't think it's the deoxit. It's got some other stuff. It's almost like it's been getting hot. I don't know. I don't think the deoxit's reacting to it. I hope it's not reacting to it. I've certainly seen it on this part, nowhere else. It is almost like it's been getting hot, which is interesting. Is that a cut in the trace, or is it just a pen mark? Nothing. It's nothing. Just a pin mark. It's a silk screen line across it, so that's fine. Alright, well, this all looks alright. What I might do is get my fiberglass brush and just really gently just give it one wipe with the brush, because that will get rid of any oxidization which is there. Just go around it once, like that, on that bit there, around there. Okay, that's it, just one wipe. I'll do it on everything. Right, that should be good enough. I don't want to do it too much because I don't want to take the gold off. But if there's any residue on there, it will get that off. And I'll put some deoxit as well on it when I go to do the rest. Because it does actually make a difference. Right, so is that board there done? Let's do this one as well. I think I had nothing on that side anyway, doesn't matter. Otherwise little connectors which is like falling apart. That was on that one. A bit of a weird one, that one, it's not the same as the rest. Which way around it was on? Yeah, that way. Okay, here we go. A bit strange. Alright, so that's those. I might do the same as well for all the fingers on these contacts, and I've got to try and put the thing back together again, hopefully get it right. Yay. Okay, let's try and put this thing back together again, hopefully do it correctly. I'm not confident, I have to say. So I'll shove this through here. That's the top piece. I'm confident that bit's right. Kind of confident. I think it's right. Because this piece goes over the top like that and sandwiches it together. So that's, I believe that's right. Now, on this side, I believe we have this one. Which is two widely spaced contacts opposite to those ones. So it's opposite the, it's next to the semicircular part. Let me look at the diagrams here. I can't even see it from here. Oh, I'm pretty sure I got that right. I'm sure this was on the other side of the board. Or am I wrong? Was that a sandwich piece? Oh. So now we've got this piece which is going to go on this way. Get it on the shaft, there we go. That's got to go in like that. Then it slide down the shaft like so. That slowly locked together. Right, so I think that's right. I'm sure about this disc here actually. Is that moved a little bit? There we go. Just making sure the fingers stick through the gap in the disc. Right. That's that part, so I think I can sandwich this back onto this board now. Plug that back in before I forget. And that one. So I think that's that bit there done. Now I need to kind of sandwich this piece in, so I need to lubricate this bit now. This needs some lubricating on it. So I've got some silicone grease. Put a little bit of that on. Don't put too much on because it ends up going everywhere. It'll spread around anyway as it's operated. That'll do. Okay, that's that side now. I'm going to put this bit back in. Okay, so what I've got here, I've got another section which I believe goes on the other side of the board to sandwich this together. I should really double check that, shouldn't I? Wide apart, side on. Let me check that. Other side of the board, wide apart, side on, yes. Double check this way. It's always a pain making sure these things are exactly right. There's two which are very similar, so I have to make sure I don't get the wrong ones in the wrong place. I think this is the one which goes the other side. This one, I think that disc goes to that board. So I think I need to put this one on next. So they're very slightly different, like mirror image of each other in a way. Just double check that. Yep, that's the one I need to put on that side of the board. Okay. So this is the next one to go on, is this one here. Line it up, push it on. Okay, spin this around so maybe you can see, maybe you can't. Then I've got this disc which I think will go this way. Just double check, make sure I've got this right. So that way around, fingers face that way, or do they? No, that's right, that way it shows it that view there, so that's correct. So I can put this on. Yeah. Just get these screws through. There you go. Right. Right. We're getting there. Next board, which is this one here, which goes this way, and it's got these fingers on there too. So what I might do is stick some deoxit on those. Just to clean these fingers up a little bit. These pins go through them. Can only help. Well, I hope it only helps. So that's that one in. That's those two there going in. I've got this connector here to push on as well. Probably can't see because of the lighting. It's also going to be pushed on. That's a bit awkward. Come on, get in there. It's all twisted. These connectors aren't great. They've got like an open side on, so it's kind of coming out of alignment as I'm trying to push it in place. There we go. Right. That's pushed right down. So I think now this is ready to have standoffs put in. These little plastic intermediary things need to line up to the holes in the PCB as well. I don't think it does right now. Not quite sure it's wiggled in place properly. There we go. Now it's in place. Right. So I think now I put the standoffs on. Let me double check. I think so. I also mustn't forget to put the metal shield back on this side as well when I finish. Okay. I think that's all lining up. What a job. So this is the next one to go on, is this one here. So this has to stand off and face this way. So what I should actually do at this point is tighten up these standoffs. They're all in the right place. Tighten those up. Can't do too much because they're only nylon. I don't want to strip them out. But they need to be at least fairly firm. Probably stick my fingers actually. Okay. Then this one will go on here. Get the turn set will go on. Right. What does it I want to pop in there? Has that got to turn a little bit? The standoff does want to bed into the back of this one. Maybe I haven't quite got that aligned right. Just loosen off. And loosen these off again. There we go, now it's going. Right. Okay. So that's that one. Now you have to put this board in. In fact, before I put this board on, I'm going to put the shield back on. Make sure the plug's definitely right down. Yep. Wherever that goes. shield on. Now I can do the next piece, which goes backwards like this and sits on there like so, and has this one put on top like that. So we'll do that, drop that in. And I really hope this works as well as it did before I pulled it apart, if hopefully better, but at the very least as well as it did before I pulled it apart. Right, now I've got these other screws left over. Which one's which? There's these ones, that's fine. Stomach keeps on growling. I'll have to have a snack in a minute. Right. So we get in there. So change the relay, clean the switch, and go from there, I suppose. Just lining up. Yep. Wish I'd used like a brass standoff on those, on this switch. I don't like the fact they use nylon. It's probably right, but I just don't like it. Now, that's that part. So now I need to put that board back into here. I believe that's correct. Let's put some deoxit on these pins. Help make sure they're corrosion free. And I've got the feeling I'm forgetting something. Those are standoff screws. Those are guard screws. Okay. Just double checking where I'm at. Right. And I've got to try and get this thing back together. I've got to try and get these pins all lined up. The board's lined up. Yeah. So we've got this interconnect between the switch and this other board, and I've got to push those in. There we go. I think that's in. I think that's going. Yes, they're through. Excellent. Right. So that's that. Get our standoffs pushed through so they're lined up. Looking good. Let's get this board on. Give it some bracing. Come on, get on there. Don't be stubborn. Okay. It's definitely awkward. Okay, let's push it together. Okay. Right. Progress. Now I'm checking for trap stuff. Got to fix this bloody pin somehow too. Really don't like to leave it like that. Is that wire trapped? Is that right? think it's okay. Look at that ribbon going through there. I think that's okay. Right. Plug these back on. So we're going to put some deoxit on these two, just to help them. Just a little bit. Right, done. Got to put the shield back on this side. Which way did it go? I think it was that way. Pretty sure it was that way. Yeah, that seems to line up alright. Well, we'll find out very soon if this works or not. Won't be much longer. If it works or if I'll completely screw it up, we'll find out. It could go either way. It's got a shield to put on there as well. I've got 2 screws left over. I've got 4 screws there. That's just something else. I've got 2 screws here which I think are from the shield. Pretty sure these 2 are from that shield. Oops, probably drop it. Right, let's plug these back in again. So that one's already on and I can't get the bloody thing back off again to put the cover back on it. That is not budging at all. That's on there forever now. I might need to put something on it to stop it from touching anything. Right. Now I've got these which I have to put back into order, and I've got the thing upside down now, so it's going to be that way up. So green, yellow, orange, and then we have red and brown. Done. This is definitely pushed down properly. Yep. Okay. Two screws here which I think are from this shield. Right, that's what those other screws are for. They are the standoff screws. Which go in here. Some of them do. No, those ones are the ones that go straight through. So that's the 5 which goes straight through, which is long ones. Okay, oh, that's right, those are the front panel screws, now remember. Okay, they're the front panel screws. Right, everything's accounted for, we're all good. I don't think I've forgotten anything else. I believe we're good to put it back together now. I hope so. Right, got the thing dropped into the case, and that's going to put these screws in, try and line all these up. Hopefully it does actually line up. I'm not completely sure it's actually in properly yet. Yeah, see, that's not quite aligned there. Okay, I think that's starting to go there. Got to be trying to be careful with this because it's got these very fragile plastic studs which I'm trying not to damage in the process, because all the ones which hold the case together are breaking, or they're all broken already and they're starting to like fall apart, so the case is not really great. Old plastics, that's the problem with them. Right, screw this down. I'm not doing it very tight. Don't want to break the plastic. There's nothing going in. There's always one, isn't there? Oh, there we go. Now it's going. It's usually the last one. Right, that's back in. Let's refit the LED display. Get all lined up. Better. That's done. I've definitely put all those back in. Then I plugged that cable back in the side for that shield. So I did. Right, I think we're good to put the power supply back on it. Let's put the front panel back on. This was a bit fiddly to get back on last time I took this, because all the switches. Kind of get there, but fiddle around with them a little bit. There we go. That's all on. Power button is the next thing I've got to try and get lined up. It's turned. Let's try doing it this way instead. What do you reckon? It doesn't quite work. No, that's not going to work. This power button was a bit of a pain last time too. Come on. Gotcha. Why is that not sitting right? Top casing? I think it might be. Very fiddly, this thing to work on. Serviceable, yes, but not well. It's not done well. Okay, knobs on. Clean some of this stuff up. Got this deoxit residue over the bench still. Let's see with this. Try and dry this up a little bit. Okay, power supply. Let's plug that back in. Let's plug the power supply back in. I really hope this worked. Took a while. Earth wire to attach, and we'll try powering it up again. Right. Come on, line up. There we go. Close enough.